Just Pearly Things just got ambushed by yet another interviewer. At this point, is a recurring thing, but it's her response and her answers to the ambush questions that made things a whole lot worse. So Just Pearly Things has too many enemies to really count, but she does have one arch nemesis on Twitter called Sarah Gonzalez. Now, Sarah Gonzalez and Just Pearly Things beef started when Just Pearly Things tweeted out, "Yes, you're less attractive at 35 than at 25 as a woman." Now, Sarah Gonzalez will begin to tweet pictures of her and Just Pearly Things side by side because Pearly Things is in her 20s, 26 to be exact, and Sarah Gonzalez is in her late 30s. Now, this is where their beef started. Sarah Gonzalez took an issue with Just Pearly Things, essentially saying that younger women are hotter than older women, which I believe is common sense, so points there for Just Pearly. It's been a while since we've seen these two interact with each other, so the beef was on pause. That's until Just Pearly Things agreed to do an interview with Alex Stein in Texas. Now, Alex Stein and Sarah Gonzalez has done content together. She's been on his show. She's actually helped him interview other women where she grills the women. Now, apparently when Alex Stein told Sarah Gonzalez that he was having Just Pearly Things on, Sarah asked to be on the show with Just Pearly Things, but Pearly Things declined and said she didn't want to speak to her. Alex Stein granted Just Pearly Things her wishes by not including Sarah Gonzalez on the show physically with Pearl. However, they were intended to get the content of Sarah Gonzalez grilling Just Pearly Things. So even though they didn't bring her there physically, they still found a way to have Sarah Gonzalez expose Just Pearly Things, and Pearly Things never seen it coming.
We wanted to bring on a colleague that you called a whore online, Sarah Gonzalez. You said she has a big opening and that you could throw a hot dog down a hallway. Is that how you described her?
I don't think so. I don't know what I said.
How did she describe her, Jimmy? As
definitely not that.
Are you sure?
They argued over age and attractiveness and all that fun stuff.
No, she insulted me. I just said 25-year-olds are hotter than 35-year-olds, and she really wanted to prove to me her hotness. So she just started sending me her selfies. I was like, wow, what a gal.
She's hot, though, right?
You know, it's just not bad looking.
You don't think Sarah Gonzalez is attractive?
No, I don't think
she was on the Right Wing Beer calendar.
Oh
She's definitely hot.
She's hot.
I just think, I think it's weird when grandmas start tweeting their selfies.
She's not a grandmother.
No, I think
it's mother.
I think it's weird when like old ladies start like tweeting at me their selfies. I don't get it. Why don't you have
They're
like
trying
a husband?
to own you though?
Well, don't you?
I feel like at this point, owning or humbling Just Pearly Things almost feel like bullying. She's been through enough, bro. Like, she has gotten owned. She's gotten exposed enough. Like, it's bad out here for Just Pearly Things in 2024. It's not looking good for Pearl. So I feel like owning her in 2024 is damn near embarrassing. But watching Pearl get humble is probably our favorite pastime hobby. Well, Pearl didn't even see it coming. Like, Pearl is telling these guys or talking to these guys as if they are naive about the situation. But they know all the details and all the facts about the situation and even had like the receipts like already pulled up for it, right? That should be the first sign. Like, they're talking to her as if they didn't know what their beef was about, but they already had the assets lined up. But as the conversation progresses, they let Pearl know that Sarah Gonzalez has a little message for her. Now, Pearl at this point looked shocked and looked confused and didn't know what was going on, but she still rolled with the punches to hear out exactly what Sarah Gonzalez had to say. And what Sarah Gonzalez had to say was bad. And I don't think if Pearl knew beforehand, she would have agreed to sit there and have that message read out loud.
Well, we got her to do a video question. Come on, let's play the question.
All right.
Hey Pearl, Sarah Gonzalez
you gotta
here.
represent
Unfortunately, I wish that I could be meeting you in person. I'm told that you didn't want to do that in studio. So I thought that I would go ahead and ask you about your statement that 16-year-old minors are more attractive than adult women. Have you always been attracted to minors? Have you sought help for this? Obviously, this is a big problem, and I look forward to your response.
Ball's in your court. What do you say to that, Pearl?
Pearl has this deer in headlights look as soon as she's reading the 16-year-old quote from Just Pearly Things. And then Pearl tries to play it off with the super cringe, disingenuine, inauthentic laugh and scoff. But you can tell she got Pearly Things really good because Pearly Things' immediate response made absolutely no sense, right? And it was her trying to play semantics, but wasn't doing a great job at it. And it came across as just dumb because we all read the exact same thing together.
Where did I say I'm attracted to minors?
I never said that. That's it. This is all allegedly. This is all in a video game on Minecraft.
Well, to be honest, I'll tell you what inspired that tweet. And I've talked about this before.
Now, the scoff and the inauthentic laughter would have probably worked if we all didn't just read the tweet together. If we didn't read the tweet and somebody was just reading it back to Pearl as a reference, and Pearl says, scoff, when did I say I was attracted to 16-year-olds? That probably would have worked. But if we read what you said, Pearl, then we understand that right there is just you trying to evade the question or be elusive. You stated that 16-year-olds are hotter than 25-year-olds or 26-year-olds. Well, then the question is, Pearl, why are you a fully grown adult female who was over 25 years old? Why do you believe that 16-year-olds, adolescents, is hotter than 25-year-olds? It's sickening, right? It's sick. So nobody, is accusing you of being attracted to 16-year-olds, but if you think 16-year-olds are hot, well, that leaves the, that leaves the window open for us to assume you're attracted to 16-year-olds. But nonetheless, though, why are you, a fully grown adult, think that 16-year-olds are hot? That's the sickening part. Now, Pearl tries to explain this away, but even her explanation makes absolutely no sense, and it comes across as disingenuous as well.
2 million views.
Yeah, no. It was basically that when I was 16, I was better looking than at 26. I was 26 when I tweeted that. So it wasn't based on anyone else.
Pearl is lying in our faces as if the tweet wasn't enlarging and read out loud together. You didn't say I was hotter at 16 than 26. You stated that chicks are hotter at 16 than they are at 26 years old. You wasn't talking about yourself. You was talking about 16-year-old girls, right? More than one. All 16-year-old girls, some may assume. So it's as if she understands she messed up badly, and instead of saying, yo, listen, man, bro, I worded that horribly wrong. I'm sorry. No, I don't think 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds, bro. I'm not a pedo. I'm not. She's making excuses, and that leaves the room for us to think maybe she is, right? Because if you truly can't really break down how what you tweeted was misinterpreted or how you got it wrong or why it was a mistake, if there really wasn't no mistake there in your typing of that particular post, then that means you meant to post that. That means you meant what you posted. That means you truly believe that 16-year-olds are more attractive than 26-year-olds. And as somebody like Pearl who's been accused of going both ways, that would mean that you are attracted to 16-year-olds. I don't want to go down that loophole because I truly don't know. But Pearl's next excuse sort of lends a helping hand to that particular narrative. Because Pearl then brings up the legal age conversation as if Pearl isn't an American.
Wow.
16 isn't a minor, by the way, so that's
know
also like.
Well, yeah, that okay.
Asian
Come
consent laws.
on.
What do you mean? So are you an Asian?
Come
Are you an
No, but it's funny. It's disingenuous because women will do this.
Pearl stated that 16-year-olds aren't minors. By all objective, laws or facts, 16-year-olds are minors. They're under 18 years old. Now, if Pearl want to go to the age of consent rules, we can talk about it. Pearl is from Chicago. She spent 24 years of her life in Chicago. The age of consent in Chicago is 17 years old. Now, JustPearlyThings moved to the UK and been in the UK for 2 years. This conversation here took place in Texas, back into the US. So if JustPearlyThings grew up in Chicago and her environment and, how her moral code was defined is through her environment, right? So ethically and morally, JustPearlyThings grew up in a society where a 16-year-old is a forbidden fruit. You can't touch them. They're underage, they're a minor, and you're a pedo if you do. Pearl moves to the UK for 2 years, where I believe the age of consent there is 16. And now Pearl is saying the age of consent is 16. To me, that's strange and that's weird, right? If you spend 24 years of your life, I believe that your environment that you spent 24 years in, that should have shaped your moral conduct and your ethics. You moved to another place for 2 years and now your worldview has changed. It doesn't make sense. That's like being 45 years old, growing up in the US for 45 years, and then you go to France or Spain or Barcelona or wherever, where like the age of consent is like 15, and you start effing on 15-year-old girls. Bro, you are still sick, homie. Like, you are still a weirdo. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that JustPearlyThings is a pedo, but her explanation doesn't really clear it up for me either. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out about the huge no jumper drama that's currently going on. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.